I realized that they were able to make these really amazing decisions very quickly, right? They had the data behind them. So when we went to go make a decision, it was based on facts and not emotion. And around the same time, I was doing some volunteer work at a local entrepreneurship hub. And I kept on hearing the same thing over and over again from entrepreneurs. I can't create a budget to get lending because I don't have bookkeeping, or I can't make the next business decision because I don't know what my numbers are and I don't have bookkeeping. I want to bring that same quick and powerful business decision-making tools to entrepreneurship that I saw used in the boardrooms.
The following is brought to you by Thryv, the end-to-end client experience platform that helps you get the job, manage the job, and get credit.
Hey, this is Gordon Henry at Winning on Main Street, and this week you get to meet Danielle Hayden. Danielle is a reformed corporate CFO who is on a mission to help rule-breaking female entrepreneurs understand their numbers so they can gain the confidence needed to create sustainable profits. After spending over 10 years in the boardroom as a corporate finance officer, Danielle is now the co-owner of Kickstart Accounting, where she helps business owners with bookkeeping, financial analysis, and education. She's also the author of the Profit Planner book series. Welcome, Danielle.
Thank you so much for having me here. I'm really looking forward to this.
Great to have you. So maybe we could just dive in with your business, Kickstart Accounting. Why did you start Kickstart Accounting?
Yeah. So I was working as a CFO for mid-sized businesses and had an opportunity to work with some really amazing board of directors and investors and management teams. And I realized that they were able to make these really amazing decisions very quickly, right? They had the data behind them. So when we went to go make a decision, it was based on facts and not emotion. And around the same time, I was doing some volunteer work at a local entrepreneurship hub. And I kept on hearing the same thing over and over again from entrepreneurs. I can't create a budget to get lending because I don't have bookkeeping, or I can't make the next business decision because I don't know what my numbers are and I don't have bookkeeping. And so really we went on a mission to help people understand their numbers, but we were quickly halted with that quick reminder that if you don't have bookkeeping in place, that is, might I add, accurate, reliable, and on time, you can't actually use that information to make business decisions. So I want to bring that same quick and powerful business decision making tools to entrepreneurship that I saw used in the boardrooms.
Got it. So let's talk about the services you do offer them. It's not just bookkeeping, right? There's more to it than just the bookkeeping. Tell us about that.
Yeah. So our clients can sign up for 3 packages. We have what we call our weekly CFO package. So we're doing the day-to-day bookkeeping, mostly in QuickBooks. And those people will get a weekly financial dashboard. I think the financial dashboard, I wish I could get every single one of our clients to do this weekly package because I think it enables us to make weekly decisions that is really, really powerful. So those people get weekly KPIs and a weekly dashboard. And then we have our monthly clients. So those clients, we're doing the day-to-day bookkeeping. If they have any questions throughout the month, they can email us. But then they're getting, every single one of our clients gets a financial statement. And look, I know that could be like gibberish to most entrepreneurs. So we don't just send the P&L and a series of reports without explanation. So what we have found really helpful is that we pull out the key performance indicators, right? We summarize that information for them so that the business owners don't have to get into the weeds. They can stay really, really high level, know what's important in their business without having to take hours and hours to deep dive that. So they get the financials, they get the summary on a monthly basis, they get a tax estimate, and then an option for a monthly Zoom call. And then we do have a quarterly package for clients who only want to see those numbers and that summary on a quarterly basis. But the big thing is that I don't want anyone feeling like they ever have to really honestly log into QuickBooks ever again. But they have the summary and then they can dive into the detail with us as they're ready.
Got it. Now, are you also consulting to your clients about how to improve the numbers, whether it's tax strategies or maybe even growth strategies? Is that stuff you get into?
Yeah. So it depends on the client. So tax strategies, we do not do tax returns internally. I feel like it's really important to have a checks and balance, internal controls, as part of your business. So we have a tax part. We can give light guidance on taxes, maybe S corp structure, payroll, but the deep tax planning, we do bring our partner in to advise on the tax piece of that. But we are meeting our clients where they're at. So when clients call us to say, hey, I'm thinking about hiring, or my goal is to reach X dollars in revenue, or we offer budget sessions. So if they do a annual budget with us, we're comparing it to budget and saying, hey, let's figure out why you're over budget in this area. But not every client is ready for that. Not everybody. So, there are some people who genuinely just want to know the numbers, and then other people want more information as they're continuing to build their business.
You produce a podcast series, right, called The Entrepreneur Money. And from what I understand, the Entrepreneur Money series is about women entrepreneurs who want to, quote, break free from limiting beliefs around money. What are some of the areas that you explore on the podcast? Who are some of the guests? Kind of how do you get to that issue?
Yeah. So it's Entrepreneur Money Stories. And we're doing a blend now. When I started, I said I wouldn't do how-to episodes, but of course, like by episode 10, we already pivoted. But the premise is that we want to have guests on to tell their money mindset journey. What we found, so over the last 8 years working with all of these entrepreneurs, that I mentioned a little bit before, there's a lot of shame and guilt. And think about it, Gordon, how often are you going to a dinner party and saying, oh, geez, I grew my business by 75% last month. I'm killing it. And did you know that I'm actually spending about 50% of that on my employees, which means I'm giving back to the community and I get to make an impact on all these, right? Like, you're not doing that. And so I think entrepreneurship becomes this really lonely and isolating place. And it can feel like, hey, I'm the only one struggling with this mindset. I'm the only one who's thinking this. I'm the only one. And so I just want to break that down, because seriously, in the hundreds of clients we worked with, every single one of them have had a different story, but a similar theme within that story. If we can realize that and stop judging ourselves for it and just forgive ourselves and say, well, look, I can recognize where this came from. Let's move on and identify it and use it to our power. Yeah.
It's great insight. I don't know if you're are you a Shark Tank fan?
Yeah.
I watch Shark Tank. I love it. And the fastest way to get skewered by the sharks on Shark Tank is to not know your numbers, particularly Kevin, but really all of them. They zone in on the entrepreneurs because they start asking about their numbers. And the minute they sense weakness in understanding and being able to explain the numbers of the business, it's like that candidate is dead, in the tank. And I think it does provide sort of a valuable lesson to entrepreneurs that it is really important. It's not all just about having passion for your product. There's a lot more to running the business.
Oh, you can have all the passion in the world, but it does not mean you're going to have a successful business. And you can have really pretty packaging. It does not mean you're going to have a successful business. You can have an awesome brand. You can, be giving back to the community and believe in all the sustainable things in the world. It does not mean you're going to have a successful business. The only way you can guarantee your success is understanding your numbers and then using that to propel your success.
Yeah. So I wanted to ask you also real quick about technology. We're on the show, we talk a lot about technology for small businesses. And I wonder, is that something you get into at all with your firm in terms of speaking with your clients, even if it's about recommendations, like you mentioned QuickBooks before? Do you talk to them about the software, the technology they use, and how they should use that to run the business better?
Yeah. So we're actually doing a whole systems series coming up on the podcast that we're putting together right now. So yes, we do talk a lot about systems. However, we do stay in our lane. It is systems for billing, systems for accounting, and then the time tracking, HR, payroll type systems, and how we can use them to make things more efficient. And it's really interesting. One thing that we hear all the time is that people will choose systems just because it syncs with QuickBooks. Like it's a game changer for them. And most of the time, the first thing that we do when we work with a business is disconnect the sync between their point of sale software and the QuickBooks, because 9 times out of 10, it's not working correctly and creating havoc in their system. And so that's a big place where we can, we really help our clients understand their systems and what it's doing to their accounting.
We're going to take a 30-second break, and we'll be back with more from Danielle Hayden.
When we started Alchemy in 2003, it was because we recognized that small business and professional practice owners need access to powerful marketing and business growth strategies, just like the large regional and national firms. But we also recognize that these owners can't just stroke a $10,000 or $12,000 check every month to pay for an ad agency to produce those strategies. That's where Alchemy comes in. We are a full-service ad agency, offering both online and offline strategies to help local businesses attract new customers and patients. And since we work with local businesses, many of them quite small, we've developed a modular approach that allows our clients to start with a few basics and a modest monthly investment, and then add additional marketing modules as their business grows.
And we're back with more from Danielle Hayden and Kickstart Accounting. So let's talk about you and your firm a little bit. On your website, I noticed you list all your employees' favorite coffee. I guess you drink a lot of coffee there?
Oh, it's tax season at the time of this recording, so there's a lot of coffee going on. The big thing, our staff they are who we are, right? Like I Kickstart would be nothing without them. And, our clients are working directly with our team. And so I think it's really important for clients and potential clients to really be able to get to know them.
Tell us about your book series. You have something called the Profit Planner book series. So it's not enough to run the company and have a podcast. You also have a book series.
Yeah, it wasn't enough. I was bored that year. So the Profit Planner, it actually came before the podcast. There's 2 books, and each book brings you through 1 quarter. And it literally is a planner. So when you purchase it, there's an ebook and then a hard copy. And so, it's actually a planner that you can plan your day in. But more importantly, we wanted to create a workbook for people to be able to slowly and manageably understand accounting content and get through their numbers, right? When you Google, how do I understand my numbers, right? There's 25 million different ways to do this. So we wanted to actually break that into pieces. So at the beginning of each week, we have a short explanation of that week's content, give them some background. And then each day is an exercise that should take anywhere from 5 to 15 minutes, and they can complete it right there in the planner. And at the end of the 24 weeks, it is a complete transformation in accounting systems and understanding your numbers.
Sounds great. We've heard a lot about the Great Resignation, all these people leaving corporate America, presumably to go off and start small businesses. And I don't know if that's impacted you. Have you seen more entrepreneurs kind of coming out of the woodwork as a result of what's happened over the past couple of years?
Oh yeah. It's so interesting, depending on what you fill your ears with. I have, talk to family members or friends, and they'll say, yeah, I hear on the news, all small businesses are closing down. You must be really nervous. I'm like, or you should turn off the news, because that's not true. Yeah. We are busier than ever. We have seen so many people start businesses, start second businesses, pivot and grow. We've seen our clients grow. I've seen a ton of entrepreneur success over the last 2 years. And I think it's something to really, really be celebrated.
Yeah, that's awesome. Our company, our parent company, Thryv, makes a CRM software for small businesses, and most of our customers are in service businesses of various sorts. And kind of to the same point, while the pandemic obviously was bad for many, many reasons, for a lot of service businesses, it was really a boom time. So many people were home wanting to fix up their home, for example, and anybody who worked on your house, there was kind of more work, it was very hard to get those people even to come to your house because there was so much work. So yeah,
I think that's still true. We still can't get people.
yeah, for sure. So interesting times. Well, we just have a couple more minutes left, so I just wanted to ask you a last question or two. I saw you you have a blog and you cover a lot of topics, but one interesting topic you were talking about was whether a business should hire an employee or a contractor, contractors versus employees. Do you have a recommendation or thoughts about that for a small business?
If you are not sure if they should be a contractor or an employee, they should be an employee, period. It is not worth the hassle of any type of lawsuit or IRS penalties. The amount of taxes are so low compared to the issues that could cause, and the cost of payroll is so minimal these days. Gone are the days of having to spend $500, $1,000 on payroll. Most of our clients, we use a company called Gusto, and you can use them for contractors and employees. But again, if you're not sure, if you think that they are in any way, shape, or form starting to come into employee territory, which means they report to you at a certain time, they leave at a certain time, you are controlling how they do things, when they do things, in what manner, you're giving them equipment, performance reviews, criticism, feedback, anything like that, then it's really time for them to become an employee. And we have seen so many of our clients teeter on this for too long. And I encourage people to kind of flip the mindset on this. Instead of saying, I don't want to deal with the hassle of payroll, I don't want to deal with the hassle of having an employee, flip that around and say to yourself, I get the opportunity to make an impact on this person, and they get to become a part of my team, a part of my company, and I get to create and give them a special culture that you can't and shouldn't be giving your contractors.
Yeah. Interesting. Okay. Great advice. So what's next for Danielle Hayden and Kickstart? Do you have big plans for the rest of 22?
Yeah, of course. I'm really excited. The team is all getting together in person to plan out our next 12 months. So we like to do this every 6 months where we get together and have an amazing planning session. So we're doing some internal training for our bookkeepers and accountants. We want to lay out a really clear career path for them so that they know where they can go, how they can go, and how they can get there. And then in the foreseeable future, we want to continue to give business owners a small group environment where they can talk about money. I made a joke earlier in the call. You're not going to a party this weekend talking about how great your business is doing. And we would like to create some type of environment where we can get together as business owners and talk about money, whether it be what's confusing, what's working, what's not working, and build wealth together. Yeah,
good stuff. How do listeners who are interested in getting in touch with you get in touch with you?
Yeah, kickstartaccountinginc.com. We just recently redid our website. There's a beautiful blue button on the top right-hand side that says book a call. Really easy to find now. So if any of this resonated with you and you'd like to talk to the Kickstart team, we're here to be a resource for you. Money Entrepreneur Stories is the podcast, but again, you can get that by going to kickstartaccountinginc.com. And then the team is doing these really funny reels on Instagram. And so if you thought that accounting could never be funny, I want you to go to Kickstart Accounting and check out these reels because I'm always laughing.
Sounds good. Well, thanks for stopping by, Danielle. Really great to have you on the show.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
And if you enjoyed this podcast, please tell a friend or colleague to subscribe. Please leave us a 5-star review. We'd really appreciate it. Until next time, make it a great week.